Bloody hell, The Conjuring 2 is a good movie. Bloody. Why bloody? I wondered. Well, most folks aren't aware. Some say maybe the aristocrats who got drunk were called Bloods, and they got bloody drunk. Some people may say it's by Our Lady, it's a corruption of that, and then God's blood, or there's a was that a Dutch word that means pure, like blood e or something like that. So it would be like bloody good. But yes, exactly what The Conjuring 2 is. Reprising their roles from The Conjuring, Oscar nominee Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson stars Lorraine and Ed Warren, who help a single mother raising four children alone in a house plagued by malicious spirits. Known as England's Amityville, the Enfield haunting was the most documented case in paranormal history. Shocking truth. Discover the truth behind the event that shocked the world. Absolutely terrifying, says Edward Douglas of the New York Daily News. 2 hours and 14 minutes. So as I record this, it is 12:31 a.m. And when you want to talk about a sequel that truly removes any of the just deluge of awful dolls, you watch this one. I mean, the fact that they go across the pond or across the ocean, whatever you want to call it, and you just see you get a whole new style of terror, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. Yes, it is a similar concept that, yes, there are children who are being afflicted by this supposed demon, or the supposed man named Bill or whatever. But it's ultimately determined to be something even bigger, and it's like, yeah. It's like, okay, James Wan has returned to direct. Yes. LFG. I just like that phrase, so I will use it for this one time. So yeah. I like a lot of it is more character based. I mean, the other one was character based, but here we've already established the Warrens. The Warrens have already completed some tasks, and they're like, okay, now we can see that there is that is like Lorraine is starting is takes some time to recover from these, like taking 10 days, 8 days, whatever, just because she's being a gifted medium. Let's humanize them more, like having them be agents of the church. And I like that. They said, yeah, you'll be our eyes and ears over there. Capture any footage you can with 1977 technology. Report to us, but it better be legitimate. That way the church can be a domain for helping with exorcisms. That detail is intact. I'm like, excellent, good. But yeah, when they're in England, it's like they hear the accents, but it's like at the same time, you care about these children, specifically the two daughters, Janet and Margaret, and Janet is being, I guess, possessed by this one other person named Bill, who seems to be the antagonist of it. And it's like it's like, yeah, you feel for her. The actress who did it, you just look at her and like, yeah, she displays a great amount of sensitivity. And when she's required to perform with like with the unnatural movements and the shrieking voice and screaming, it's like, dang, intense stuff right there. And the mother, Peggy, is she's trying to keep it all together for her family, but she's being afflicted by this, and it's a family's truly in desperate struggle to figure out what's going on. And it's like, oof, yes. And because of it taking place in England, we get different like English housing communal. I forgot what it's called, counseling role or something. Anyway, yeah, it's like we don't get like a whole what's the word, minimalist approach like that we did in Rhode Island, but instead, we still get the I guess urban sense of it, like, hey, the danger can come in anywhere, can even cross the street or whatever, and it's just so. I mean, it's like it's like we have the scares, we have the intensity going on. Yes, we have some of the stuff that's going to be mentioned, like a zoetrope, which is pretty much a device that has like paintings. If I were to draw like 8 pictures of a guy walking. You spin it around, and then there's a person walking. A simulation, pretty much. I mean, yeah, you have that. That's going to come in place later. You have some destruction, and, it's like these kids, when they're given the material to work with, it's just like, jeez. Yeah. There's still a lot of sense of terror going on in here, and it's like, yes, at 2 hours and 14 minutes, it does feel a little long. I will admit that, but I was thoroughly entertained throughout. I was creeped out a little bit, and I'm just like, jeez. And yeah, it's like we get to spend time with both the Warrens and also the English family as well. So we get to know these characters, and you actually really do want to see. You see their plight, you see their desperation, and it's just, ooh, absolutely intense stuff. And I gotta admit, it's like you just, you just want to just see what happens next. Of course, there's some skeptic that's going on here. She's a low level. She's like the lowest level schmuck. She's only doing what she can to, I forgot what, but yes, this is during a time in England when there's a whole bunch of social reform. I know that Margaret Thatcher had something to do with it, and also the rise of the punks who were tired of progressive rock, but lo and behold, prog rock won out, and then punk rock was just a movement that happened. So yeah, anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I don't know too much about it, even though I have English ancestry, but yeah. But hi, it's like I like to. It's like it's just this movie is just so dang good, and you just look at it and you're like, yes, I like this. I want more of this. The carnage increases what with tables being flipped with houses that like what at one room is pretty good at the first time, and then later after the demon Valak that's dressed as a nun just terrorizes everything. You just get to see it's like the intensity is ramped up, and the struggle to get that daughter free from being imprisoned by this demon. Uh, it's just yeah, the carnage there, the scares there are a little bit more. The ending feels like it's I don't want to say like an action movie, but at the same time it feels because this is a sequel. It goes in a bit of a different direction. We're still maintaining the film the first identity. So it's like, what do you think of it? I liked it, but it may turn some people off. And I know so there was some CG, and I'm like, well, it's there, but it's brief. Okay, yeah, a couch gets thrown, yeah, a couch gets tossed, transferred, whatever. It's like, well, whatever. You notice it and then you move on. If you don't pay too much attention to it, just enjoy the ride. Yes, this is indeed a very scary movie. Yeah, especially certain scenes where like when there's a daughter in a room and a whole bunch of crosses become inverted. That was pretty intense. There's one with there's some terror that kind of goes like it happens once and then it comes back, and a couple of children are missing because this demon is just manipulating everything, and it's just absolutely oof. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. It's not cliched, and you can kind of tell where maybe a couple of them are coming through. So it's like whatever. I mean, I'm gonna say that this one's maybe just slightly less better than the first one, but that's like saying that a 99% movie on Rotten Tomatoes is legendary, and then like a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes is still legendary, just a little less legendary, I guess. So say what you will about that. And I guess it's like, hey, it's like all the it's like the stars return. They do a freaking phenomenal job. Better, like great acting in this. There's even minor character who's trying to take an axe to the door. Is that a reference to The Shining? Or Broken Blossoms or random character anyway? I don't know, just something I know. So it's like, yeah, obviously, the film takes certain liberties with trying to get things set up, and it's like, I don't care. as long as it continues to entertain, scare, and get people interested in ghosts and look up different demon names, I guess, to use them to, and also look at those who are using Munchausen syndrome. Keep that in mind. So yeah, because there were some interesting incidents during the first movie's filming. They had a priest come in and bless the set, and nothing supernatural or paranormal happened this time. Eventually later, Janet, I forgot what her last name was, said, yeah, a little bit of it was fake, like 2% when she told the Telegraph, I think, or something like that, newspaper. But it's like I said, this case it's widely studied and rather heavily widely studied and forgotten about later. So there's that. So ultimately, I think, and as for Amityville itself, that is hotly debated, and I just think, hey, it just makes you realize that there is other stuff out there in this world. Do I believe in the paranormal? I haven't encountered anything, but I do think that there is a fate that is beyond our control that we can try and challenge, or just know what's happening. Other than that, I haven't had any encounters, but I keep an open mind. So yeah, with all that being said, I highly recommend that you watch The Conjuring 2.